My brother offered to help with our wedding. I trusted him with everything. The venue, the vendors, the money. But 1 week before the ceremony, I discovered he never booked a thing. And what he really did with our $15,000 nearly destroyed our family. What he hid from us, I never expected. Let me tell you something about trust. It's not lost all at once. It crumbles. One small crack at a time. My name's Ethan. I'm 29. And until recently, I thought my older brother Nathan was the one person in this world I could count on. He's 33, charismatic, great with people, the kind of guy who makes you feel like everything's under control, even when it's falling apart behind the scenes. I'm engaged to someone amazing. Her name's Jamie. We met in college. She's smart, grounded, has this quiet strength that makes people listen when she speaks. We've been together for 6 years, and when I proposed, it felt like everything in my life had clicked into place. The wedding was set for late September. We decided to keep it simple: close friends, family, a lakefront venue outside Denver. Jamie was all about the intimate vibe. No flashy ballrooms, just string lights, a live acoustic band, and good food. Nathan offered to help from day one. He said he'd handle the logistics, which to him meant coordinating vendors, finalizing permits, and making sure our officiant, our old high school teacher, was booked. I hesitated at first. He can be impulsive, but he insisted, said it was his gift to us. I let him do it, and for a while, it looked like he was crushing it. Venue reserved, catering confirmed, band on board. He even sent over a Google Drive folder with timelines and invoices. I'd glance at it every now and then, but honestly, I trusted him. Jamie asked me once, "Are you sure Nathan's not taking on too much?" I remember laughing. He's Nathan. He lives for this kind of chaos. But about 10 days before the wedding, things started to wobble. Our caterer emailed me directly, asking if I had confirmed the final payment. I thought Nathan had done it. When I texted him, he said he'd take care of it right away. Odd, since I assumed it was done weeks ago. Then came the call from the officiant, our teacher, Mr. Langley. He said he hadn't heard a word from Nathan since June. That's when a small crack formed in the foundation. I brought it up casually that evening on our group chat with Nathan and Jamie. He replied quickly, smooth as ever. All handled. Langley forgot to check his spam folder. We're good. It sounded right. But something about the speed of that response, the weird cheerfulness in it, it rubbed me wrong. That night I opened the Drive folder. For the first time in weeks, I really looked. Something hit me in the gut. The venue invoice, a scanned PDF. No contact info. The catering, same. The band's contract, it was in Word. No signatures. I opened Google, typed the venue name. Nothing came up. That's when my stomach dropped. What if Nathan never booked anything? I couldn't ignore it. My chest tightened every time my phone buzzed with another vendor email. Please confirm. So, at 2 a.m., I logged into the Drive folder again. I downloaded every file: contracts, invoices, contact lists, vendor emails. I double-clicked each document, line by line. No signatures, no snail mail addresses, no email chains with responses. Just standalone PDFs and Word docs, dated months ago, but with no substance. Dates and payments in black text, no trace of real-world follow-through. I decided to verify. Called the venue number listed on the PDF. "Sorry, sir. We closed that location last year." "Uh-huh." Next, the caterer. I texted the number attached. Response: "Never worked with Ethan Miller." Got one. The band's agent? Voicemail. No return call for a week. I felt sick. I traced the IP logs on the Drive folder. It showed edits from his laptop, but that could mean anything. Still, I needed proof. Sunlight the next morning caught Jamie's concern. "Everything okay?" she asked. I said nothing, but jotted a note. "Check payments, vendor contacts, verify info, all by tonight." Then I started acting fast. Pulled out my personal laptop, charted a timeline, noted email threads. I drafted a polite message to vendors. "Please confirm booking under Ethan and Jamie Miller. Venue event September 23rd. Sent 10 emails. Replies came back. Venue has no record. Caterer says no. Band's agent still silent. I called the officiant again, Mr. Langley. Nothing from Nathan since July, he repeated. I felt rage coil. That night, I drafted a message to Nathan. Hey bro, quick question. Did you actually book anything for the wedding? Vendors are saying they don't have us scheduled. I stared at it. My thumb hovered. I messaged. His reply came 2 hours later. Stop worrying, I have it all covered. You're overthinking, man. Trust me. That's when I felt it. He real thinks he can bluff his way through and go as far as wedding day fraud. I needed evidence. I logged into our joint bank account and checked transfers. Transfers from me to Nathan, labeled wedding fund every time, total over $15,000. I asked the bank to send statements. Then I went to the bank branch the next morning. Walked up to the teller. I need copies of transfers to Ethan Nathan Miller. They printed copies. No ear jerking, no fuss. Seeing those numbers tagged gift deafened me. That was my money. On his words, not invoice, not contract. That afternoon, I placed copies of every email reply, bank statement, and vendor denial into a single folder on my laptop. I named it Unspoken Truth and restarted my computer. It was 4 p.m. My resolve set. Confrontation would happen tonight. That evening felt like a final act in a play I never auditioned for. After dinner, I texted Nathan, "We need to talk. Tonight. At my place." He responded with a no-nonsense thumbs-up emoji. When he arrived, I'd already laid everything out on the dining table. The drive files, bank statements, vendor messages. Even the note from Mr. Langley confirming no correspondence from him since June. It was arranged, like an exhibit. Nathan walked in, saw the spread, and froze. His confident grin faltered for the first time. "Ethan," he started, voice low. I cut him off immediately. "Don't. I saw everything." He swallowed hard. "What do you mean you saw everything?" I pointed at the drive folder. No real bookings. Caterers, bands, permit paperwork, all fake. His face flushed. I thought I could fix deals last minute. I thought I could manage everything myself. I knew you trusted me. But this isn't trust. It's theft. You took 15 grand, our money, and gambled with our wedding. Nathan's voice quivered. I didn't mean to hurt you. It felt doable. I could juggle it. Juggle? I echoed incredulously. You turned our wedding into your personal circus. And when that fell apart, you lied, over and over. He looked down, running his fingers through his hair. His tone changed, panicked, pleading. I was embarrassed. I thought I could set it right before anyone noticed. Embarrassed? I spat. You lied. To me, to Jamie, to everyone. You chose to lie rather than say you'd screwed up. He looked me straight in the face. I'm sorry. The words cracked. Sorry? I leaned forward. Sorry doesn't fund caterers, doesn't secure permits, doesn't get the band to show. I slammed my hand on the table. This was real money, real plans, and you treated it like fantasy. Nathan's eyes glistened. I'll fix it. I'll pay it back, even delay the date. Whatever you want. I stared at him. My head buzzed with that word. Whatever. I realized what he needed wasn't just forgiveness. It was accountability. Now, I said, voice steadier. Here's what you do. Call every vendor. Confirm in writing. Wire the money. And Jean, our officiant, contact him now. You have 48 hours. He nodded, defeated. He picked up his phone. I didn't look away. I watched him face the consequences of his own making. 2 days later, I arrived at the venue, a gorgeous lakeside barn, right as Nathan was wrapping up a frantic phone call. He looked worn, eyes sunken, clutching his phone like a lifeline. I walked up quietly, no words at first. Vendors were loading in. Chairs, floral arrangements, AV equipment. A small army of assistants buzzed around. Everything looked perfect. I stepped forward, hand on his shoulder. He froze. We're good? I asked quietly. He shook his head. Ed didn't confirm. And the cooking team. They found another gig. I'm trying to rebook, but I exhaled. We will lose deposits if you don't confirm today. The weight of my words hit him. He met my gaze. I'm telling you, I'm doing it. It feels like walking on a tightrope. Every step could snap. I nodded. And if you slip? My voice was level. He swallowed. I'll pay the penalty myself, whatever it costs. We stood side by side as the barn came to life. Laughter, lights, the scent of fresh pine and lake air. I realized this moment was a test, not just for him, but for us, our family, our plans. Then the caterer walked over, clipboard in hand. All set, Ethan. We received your final payment this morning, transferred directly to us. Nathan and I locked eyes, relief flooding him. I kept my face neutral. Minutes later, the florist confirmed. The band's trailer pulled in. Everything was actually booked. That's when the officiant showed up, a familiar face. Mr. Langley stepped in, smiling awkwardly as he strode in to greet the couple. Nathan released a breath I'd feel in his shoulders. He turned to me and whispered, I thought I lost it all. I looked at him. This was the moment. Choice. I stepped forward, raised my voice so the approaching vendors could hear. Everyone, great work. Let's get this wedding started. He exhaled, tears in his eyes. I nodded once, firmly, and walked to meet Jamie as she arrived. Later, standing at the altar with Jamie's hand in mine, the tent lights twinkled like stars overhead. Nathan stood at my side, looking thinner, more humbled than ever. My heart pounded, not with anger but with clarity. We were on the edge, and we had chosen to walk forward together. The music started. Jamie cried. I did too. From the crowd I saw Nathan, my brother, redeemed, but forever changed. In the days after the wedding, everything felt surreal, like the world was holding its breath, waiting to see if what we rebuilt that day would hold. Jamie and I returned to our beachside condo with boxes unopened, wedding gifts untouched, and a sense of calm I hadn't known in months. Nathan, exhausted but relieved, stayed with a friend for a couple of nights until the dust settled. I don't think words were enough to fix everything, but we all needed a moment to breathe. Nutritionist junkets to the kitchen at midnight, asking for coffee. I found peace in normal routines, little rituals that reminded me what home truly meant. I found Nathan sitting on the porch at dawn one morning, playing guitar. He caught my eye, nodded, and for a moment we just sat in silence. No apologies, no explanations, just brotherhood in that fragile quiet. Over the next week, Nathan began making restitution. He called every vendor, doubled payments to cover deposits, and offered whatever honor survived the mess. He performed odd jobs in my garden to put cash back in our account, and even worked at the venue to assist staff with breakdown and cleanup. It wasn't about repaying money. It was about showing he still cared. Jamie watched all this carefully. She sat me down one evening while Liam was asleep and quietly said, "You gave him the chance." That meant something to me. I understood then. Restoring family was as important to her as building our marriage. But cracks didn't disappear overnight. A week after the wedding, I caught Nathan staring at the beach horizon, lost in thought. I asked if he was okay. He just nodded. Later, Jamie pulled me aside and confessed. He didn't sleep for 3 nights before the wedding. He felt like he almost lost everything. That looked like guilt, but also like new resolve. Meanwhile, our marriage began shifting too. Transparency became our new norm. Shared calendars, monthly finance check-ins, and weekly temperature talks about how we really felt. It wasn't about suspicion. It was about accountability and connection. We held small post-wedding gatherings, laughed, fought, apologized, ate cake in pajamas, 5 days in a row. Love didn't return immediately, but it resurfaced in these honest moments. One morning, I woke to Jamie reading under the string lights in our courtyard. She looked up and mouthed, "Thank you." That simple moment felt like the final stitch in the patchwork. Nathan stopped sending screenshots of vendor payments without comment. Instead, he gave me a hug, chased me with a guitar riff and a dumb grin. No words, but everything said. And I realized, we weren't the same people, We had been broken. But through fire, we emerged different and stronger. It's been 3 months since that chaotic week. We didn't go right back to normal, but something far more interesting happened. We became real. Jamie and I found new rhythms. Date night at home, joint bedtime stories for Lily, weekly state-of-us check-ins. We rebuilt intimacy rooted in honesty, not plans. We're even spontaneously booking little family trips. No big vendor contracts, no obligations, just us. Nathan? He's transformed too. He's not just my brother. He's become someone I respect. He's taken a job managing events locally, so he's actually working in the industry he pretended to conquer. Last weekend, he called me, voice calm, and said, "I finally feel like I'm contributing, not taking." Our bond isn't the same. It's deeper, steadier, scarred, but stronger. I don't have a perfect answer. I still sometimes catch myself bracing for betrayal when his phone buzzes, or checking my planner twice. But then I catch Jamie's hand in mine, or Nathan's quiet smile from across the table, and I remember why I chose repair instead of retreat. Here's what I want to ask you, Reddit, YouTube, everyone who's made it this far. How far would you go to rebuild something broken? Can betrayal be forgiven without forgetting? And, most important, what would you need to truly forgive someone who nearly destroyed your trust? Because sometimes, healing is the hardest kind of love.